Okay, so we are back with part 3 of our like kind of 10-minute pre-warm-up that I think is super important. It's part of our ramp program. And so the core bracing and the core control I think has to be done every single day because it's just really important to tune the core up and keep it primed for movement with gymnastics and cue the girls to be working this every day with good breathing patterns. So what we do first is we do what's called a, over here we're gonna start with a trunk stability curl up. This comes from Stuart McGill's work. So they have one hand behind their back, their chin stays down and in, and they just think about picking their shoulder blades up and then relax. And you can see this is really tough. Believe it or not, if you do it right and you just worry about activating the upper ab muscles and kind of through it, it's really, really tough to do correctly. What you don't want to see is them stick their chin out and go towards the ceiling, so do it wrong. So if they stick their neck up, yeah, that's not good and it doesn't feel good for your neck. So just chin thumbs in, a little slight movement, and she'll definitely tell you she's feeling that. So they do 3 of those with each leg, which is pretty good. Then from right here, we do what's called the dead bug. So hands are gonna go up in the air. Big thing about a dead bug is it's not about strength and really being, you know, brace as hard as you can. It's about really fine-tuned control. So she's gonna start with bent knees, which is the easier version. She's gonna drop one arm down and one leg and just hold it there, take a deep breath, and then come back up. And so even if this is too hard with your little girls, they can just start bent knee and bent together. She doesn't straighten her leg, which is a little bit easier. So she's gonna do 2 or 3 on each side, just focusing on breathing, keeping her core turned on, and things like that. So she'll do 2 or 3s on each side, and then I'm gonna have her flip over. She's gonna go hands and knees, and she'll start by just keeping a good neutral spine position, kind of lower your back a little bit in them. Good. You wanna keep that position flat. You can put a towel roll on there if you want, but she's gonna think about bracing her core, breathing, and she's gonna reach one arm straight ahead. And she's gonna work on weight shifting and then the other side. So this is a basic cross crawl exercise, and then she's gonna go leg, leg. And then your girls have to master this first, and you can see her back starts to turn a little bit. She wants to keep that back super flat. Try that again. There you go, that's much better. And if they get better and they're advanced, they can do opposite arm, opposite leg, which is a super important bird dog or cross crawl, which is good to activate the back muscles, but also work on core stability and making sure she's not arching her back, rolling her hip out, she's not cheating. You know, if they get really, really good, they can do what's called an inline bird dog, which is where they put their knee and their leg close together like they're on a balance beam, and they go opposite arm, opposite leg like that. Believe it or not, that small little change makes a world of difference and it makes it very hard. So she'll do those. And then after that, we're gonna have her come into like a front plank position. She's just gonna get a good plank, and she's gonna lift one arm, one leg, and try to control it, and then left arm and leg on the bottom, sorry, leg in the bottom. And this is a little bit more, you know, core activation, but also working on weight shifting and trying to make sure she can accept a lot. Trying to keep that back flat as much as she can. And then probably one of my favorite ones that I do a lot from the SFMA, she's gonna lay on her back. So just basic rolling patterns are really important. The biggest thing is making sure that the gymnast is not in pain. There's no problems with it anywhere. If they have mobility restrictions and they can't get to this position fully overhead, they need to work that instead, and they might not do well with rolling. But for gymnasts that are very, very flexible and have a lot of range of motion, rolling patterns are very good to just get some basic activation work. So she's gonna turn her head towards one side and reach only with her arm to try to get over to her stomach. The biggest thing is the legs are not doing any work. It's completely relaxed. They're gonna wanna point their toes and try to roll back. So she looks up, reaches over her head, and tries to go back. Believe it or not, this is very, very hard. And I would challenge you to try it on your floor if you don't think it's that bad. But this is how we use assessment of core control, and you see she's having some trouble to cheat. But her legs are gonna want to toe point and kick up all over, but the goal is to do it only with one arm at a time, to not do it with anywhere else, and they can go side to side, and you'll see if she goes the other way, she has a little bit of problem this way. She kind of gets stuck. She has a problem, so we're working on this. If they're really stuck, you can prop them up on something, or you can work on helping them out, but just a really good way to activate the lower threshold core muscles. And then she can also do it with her legs. So these are for the girls that are appropriate. I would suggest that people use a medical professional to evaluate someone and make sure that they go through the SFMA, which is the tool that I use, and that they're appropriate for this. But if they are, I put it in all the girls' warm-ups who need it and that are very important, because it's very, very good to do for low threshold core stability. So that's all for those 4. It's all in all about, takes them 10 minutes when they get good at it and they go all the way through it. But I think this RAM program is something that every gym and every gymnast should do, just to kind of have daily maintenance of range of motion stuff, activity, soft tissue, some activation drills, and then core stability as we talked about. So that's all for these posts.